y te toque el punto G. Me enchulé. Sigue guayando, sigue guayando.
Hey friends, in today's video I'm going to teach you how to use Na10 and Airtable to help content creators repurpose their video for their social media, post, newsletter and anything else. This is a service that most ghostwriters charge 2 to 10k, and we are going to do it all today inside Na10. So if you're searching for the best AI automation to get started, this is the one. Let me show you how it works before we build it step by step. So here is my Airtable, and here I introduce a video URL. Okay, this is one of my other videos about finding video outliers. By default, you will output a summary and tutorial, but we can have all these other. And then I run my workflow. And boom, the generated content are placed back in Airtable, ready to use. It's simple, automated, and scalable. And also building a front-end app that connects to this exact workflow. And we're creating it together inside my private school community. Inside the community, we're building full-stack applications like this, front-end plus back-end, and...
So you think you know Wix, but do you really?
Telling... Hey friends, Apify Actor. From there, we to an LLM. The video is pieces of course and well, everything impressive, but don't worry, we are going to see that step by step, and you will see output everything. So the URL, the status, so here selected, and the output that we have to selected. Delete, we delete the video here. Then if our video URL and this URL endpoint, we pass that the API Apify, and we pass our start URLs here. Okay. Then we have this result, so we have the title, a lot of information about the video, and the part that we are interested in is the subtitle SRT. But as you can see, we have all the time, so we want to clean up that. So for that, we have another LLM chain here, and I say to remove the timestamp, and so I pass the JSON subtitles SRT from here. Okay, and I also want to return the title and the URL, because we are going to use the URL as reference, and we want the title to be sent back to Airtable. Then from there we extract the fields that we want, so we want the title, the text and the URL, and we do that because they are not
Estamos rompiendo, no estamos rompiendo, muchachos. Okay. The business. 1, 2, 3. Let go.
Anyways, once you're in this tool, what you need to do is give it a name. So this is just an example. You give it
Ahora quiere volver. ¿Por qué razón? Dime para qué. Ya no te presto atención. Desde hace tiempo le puse punto final. ¿Qué pretendes tú llamándome hasta ahora? Esa actitud la conozco ya. Sabes qué hacer muy bien para envolverme, pero esta
Estas no son horas de llamar, al menos que me lo quieras mamar, que quieras prender, que quieras quemar. Hablando claro, ya tú me callaste mal. Por ti me metí pastilla y me fui de ver flor la mal. Pero tú no eres una Kardashian, contigo no me tiro, porque si no la retro se me embachan. De noche te borré, de Facebook te borré, de Instagram te borré, de mi vida te borré. Y ahora quieres volver, nada con lo que quieres joder. Pero no se va a poder, me vas a ver con otra y te vas a morder. Y ahora quieres volver, nada con lo que quieres joder. Pero no se va a poder, me vas a ver con otra y te vas a morder. ¿Qué pretendas tú llamándome a esta hora? Esa actitud, yeah, la conozco ya. Sabes qué hacer muy bien para envolverme, pero esta vez es muy tarde ya. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Intentas hacerlo todo para que yo vuelva. Las cosas no son iguales, ¿para qué insistir? Evita molestas y tu tiempo no pierdas. Conmigo no encuentras nada. A escondidas vives chequeando las fotos, investigando mi perfil. No lo niegues, bien te conozco. Todo lo que tú hiciste conmigo, quieres repetirlo. Andas buscando más y a mí eso me da igual. Todo lo que tú hiciste conmigo, quieres repetirlo. Andas buscando más y a mí eso me da igual. ¿Qué pretendes tú llamándome hasta ahora? Esa actitud la conozco ya. Sabes qué hacer muy bien para envolverme, pero esta vez es muy tarde ya.
¿Qué pretendas tú llamándome a esta hora? Esa actitud, yeah, la conozco ya. Sabes qué hacer muy bien para envolverme, pero esta vez es muy tarde ya. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Es que rompiendo,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
rompiendo el bajo.
Bad Bunny, bye, 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 bye.
At the first level, and we are going to use a merge node, and we are going to see why we need that at the first level, otherwise the merge node will not work correctly. So in the upper branch we pass our URL and our output that we want to filter the content that we want to process. And here we have this merge node, and we choose to combine by matching field, and the matching field is the URL. So here we have the input one, the URL, and we have the edit field, which is the input 2. And so if I didn't use this edit field and these are not at the first level, it will not work. That's what we use this set node. So here's the output. We have our title, we have our transcript, which is clean now, and we have our URL and our output. From there, we have, for each type of content, we use a filter. So in each filter, if the JSON output contains tutorial here, then we are going to process the tutorial. Okay, so the JSON output is here, and here we have everything. But for example, if we don't have the blog post, then it will not be processed. Okay, it will be discarded. And we do the same for all the filter for YouTube output. Okay, here we have YouTube, etc. for each piece of content that we want. And then we connect this to LLM chain here. So here I'm using as model, I'm using OpenRouter with GPT-4o Nano because it's fast and it's not expensive and it gives quite good quality. You can experiment with GPT-4o if you want really things well written, or GPT Mini, but it will be slower. and more expensive. And here too, in the remove timestamp, I'm using GPT-4o Nano. Okay, so in each of these LLM chains, each time I have a prompt, so
Work today is broken. We're all working in too many disconnected apps, and it's killing team productivity.
you will be able to read the prompt if you download the template. And for each node, of course, we have a different prompt. So for example, here's a YouTube script. I wanted several things. So here I require a specific output, and I ask it also in the prompt, and I attached a structured output parser to define what I want as output. Okay. And so we do that for all our piece of content. Here in the summary also, I'm extracting several things, the level, if it's intermediate, advanced or beginner, the topic, the summary, and the key takeaways. You can adapt this as you want. You can create more piece of content. We can change.
Una cintura chiquita, mata la cancha, tú estás fuera lo normal. Tú lo bates como la vena de abuela. Hay muchas mujeres, pero tú ganas por pela. Enseñando mucho y todo por fuera. Tu diseñado no quiso gastar en la tela. Oh, mama, tú eres la fama. Estás conmigo y te va mañana. Cuando lo mueves, todo me sana. Eres mi antídoto cuando tengo ganas. Oh, mama, tú eres la fama. Estás conmigo y te va mañana. Cuando lo mueves, todo me sana. Eres mi antídoto cuando tengo ganas. Tú me tienes loco, loco contigo. Yo trato y trato, pero baby no te olvido. Tú me tienes loco, loco contigo. Yo trato y trato, pero baby aquí yo sigo.
Oh, I make it hot, your body on top, top. Kiss me up, wanna lip lock, lock. Party won't stop, stop. And it's 4 o'clock, clock. Iced out watch, I can get you one. Yeah, tell your best friend she get one, too. Girls when I have fun, I'm who they run to. Move, move, your body know you want to. 1, 2, baby I want you. Cute face, little waist, yeah. Move to the base. That ass need a seat. You can sit on me. That's my old girl. Yeah, she an antique. You got that new body. Yeah, you an art piece. You like salsa? Yeah, I'm saucy. Caliente, muy caliente, 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 caliente.
Tú me tienes loco, loco contigo. Yo trato y trato, pero baby no te olvido. Tú me tienes loco, loco contigo. Yo trato y trato, pero baby aquí yo sigo. Pide lo que quieras, lo que quieras, lo que quieras. Que yo lo hago a tu manera, a tu manera, a tu manera. Dale, mueve la cadera, se ve no se pregunta. Se te espero y tengo claro que es mi culpa. Como Canelo en el ring nadie me asusta. Vivo en mi oasis y la paz no me la tumba. Hakuna Matata como Timon y Pumba. Voy pa' leyenda así que dale zumba. Los dejo ciego con la vibra que me alumbra. Heiras pa' la tumba, nosotros pa' la rumba. Toda la noche rompemos, al otro día volvemos. Tú sabes cómo lo hacemos, baby. Baby, tonight's like fuego. We bout to spend the dinero. We party to the extremo, baby. Toda la noche rompemos, al otro día volvemos. Tú sabes cómo lo hacemos, baby. Baby, tonight's like fuego. We bout to spend the dinero. We party to the extremo, 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 extremo.
Ritmo.
The rhythm, the rebel, styles upon styles upon styles, I got several. Born to be wild cause I live like a dead devil. Live it up, hit 'em up, that's a scenario. Tupac, I get around like a merry-go rooftop. I am on top of the pedestal, flu shot. I am so sick I need medical. Puta, I learned that shit down in Mexico.
The rhythm, the rebel. New and improve, I be on a new level. That's how we do it, we building like Lego. Feel on a fire, you're dealing with fuego.
The prompt and do whatever you want to produce the content you need or that your clients need. And then here I have a code node because I tried with the merge node and it was more complicated. So sometimes the flow node, the merge or other ones, when it becomes complex, sometimes it's easier to use a code node. And if you don't know how to code, just ask Claude or ChatGPT to write the code for you, but explain it very well what you want in a very logic way. So here I have this code node and it's going to match every item together. So in the output we have the URL, the title, here's the tutorial, the YouTube items, the summary, post, the tweet, the newsletter, and the blog post. Okay, here there is only one URL, but we could have several. Okay, so here we get the URL and titles. Here we have this save get all because when I don't choose to process all the pieces of content, we can have problems. ChatGPT or Claude wrote that for me. Don't worry, I'm a coder, but you can do it too. I generate my code also. And then we match all our items here. And then we have the last step. We have this Airtable node that maps everything to Airtable. So we match it by URL. We
Pasártela bien rico como te gusta a ti. Ponte en cuatro y te la saco
chura. Tú eres mía, boba, tú eres mía, boba. Vamos a hacerlo otra vez, vamos a hacerlo otra vez. Tú eres mía, boba, tú eres mía, boba. Vamos a hacerlo otra vez. Ey.
Yo la llevo al cielo, ella se suelta el pelo, se muerde los labios, así rompe el hielo, así rompe el hielo. Tú sigues tocándote, que voy por los condones, eso se le iba a explotar y yo se lo detoné. Yo la llevo al cielo, cuando le doy los keys se le quito la G's y la jalo del pelo, así rompemos el hielo.
Siempre que le bajes con los hielos en la boca pa' que sienta el frío. Quiere desquitarse conmigo lo que ha sufrido. Mami, yo siempre desconfío. Llegué con la máscara como Sub-Zero. Ready pa'l combate encima del matre. Déjate llevar, quiero al cielo elevarte. Eso allá abajo somos al hablarte. Dudo que llegue a Marte, la bella que era en ascenso. Tabaco botando el humo denso. Pa' chingar yo la convenzo. Después de un perreo intenso, ella me vio con Sky y con Faye, desde entonces con su parcera le cae codeína con la spray pa' llevarla al cielo. Ella se suelta el pelo, se muerde los labios y rompe el hielo. Mami, qué reguero, tú sigues tocándote, que voy por los condones, eso se te iba a explotar y yo te lo detoné.
Yo la llevo al cielo, cuando le doy los keys se le quito la G's y la jalo del pelo, así rompemos el hielo. El party en el depa, color verde la mota, en toda la noche no se bajó de la troca. Cuando le bronea se le cae la ropa, así caladita, el pecho no la rota. En el cielo se le olvidan los modales, se la tomecitos de seguro y naturales. Nena del caserío, flow y baleales. Rompimos el hielo en el perreo de la disco cuando ella se despidió. Otra más me pidió, cogió mi número y después me escribió. Fuimos pa' donde no nos viera, ella me sacó la polera. Qué rico, mami, que hicimos de todo. Sigue tocándote, que voy por los condones, eso se le iba a explotar y yo se lo detoné. Yo la llevo al cielo, cuando le doy los keys se le quito la G's y la jalo del pelo, así rompemos el hielo. Tú rompes el hielo. Y tranquila que yo lo derrito, tú un palta me tienes ciego. Aunque soy yo el que siempre le insisto.
No va a ser tan fácil, aunque me esquives como quiera. Tras de ti, voy tras de ti. Tú tienes todo lo que quiero para mí.
Y tú tan sola por ahí, detrás de ti voy a seguir. Yo sé que lo bueno toma tiempo, lady.
Es que me gustas tú nada más, no me importan las demás. Una vaina loca que me da, que por más que intento no se va.
Me gustas tú nada más, no me importan las demás. Una vaina loca que me da, que por más que intento no se va.
Me gustas tú nada más, no sé disimular. La música que hago solo en ti me hace pensar. Única una rosa yo me la quiero robar. Sencilla, bonita, no se tiene que maquillar. Me mata el piquete, baila duro y le mete. Con nadie se compromete y menos si tú le prometes. Tiene lo que quiero, me tira que yo le llego. No sé disimular, bailo contigo y yo me entrego. Me mata el piquete, baila duro y le mete. Con nadie se compromete y menos si tú le prometes. Tiene lo que quiero, me tira que yo le llego. No sé disimular, bailo contigo y yo me
Me
entrego.
gustas tú nada más, no me importan las demás. Una vaina loca que me da, que por más que intento no se va.
Es que me gustas tú nada
foto que subiste con él diciendo que era tu cielo. Bebé, yo te conozco también, sé que fue para darme celos. No te diré quién, pero llorando por mí te vieron. Por mí te vieron. Déjame decirte, se ve que él te trata bien, que es todo un caballero. Pero eso no cambiará que yo llegué primero. Sé que te va a ir bien, pero no te quiere como yo te quiero. Puede que no te haga falta nada, aparentemente nada. Hawaii de vacaciones, mis felicitaciones. Muy lindo
su pedicure. Tiene un sub y baja del norte al sur. Con ese choca choca ya estoy maquineando. Tú tienes la culpa de estar tan dura. Y es una psicópata cuando mueves eso para atrás. Cinturita suelta parece pa' mí una acróbata. Y estoy loco que conmigo te atrevas. Lúcete pa' que me pongas a prueba. Dale baila ahora sin parar, que llegamos al carnaval. Mueve todo eso que tienes ahí. ¡Fuego!
Yeah, 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 yeah. Todo parece estar bien, pero nada es lo que parece. No supe darte mi 100, aunque lo traté muchas veces. Lo intenté pero fracasé, todos mis errores ya los repasé. Y ahora dime cómo duermo si tú no me perteneces. Abuela me lo dijo, el amor no funciona. Quien menos te espera se va y te traiciona. Te fuiste sin despedirte, como si nunca me quisiste. Te di lo que pedía y no fue suficiente. Tú solo mentías y yo tu fiel creyente. Mil sueños me vendía, yo fui tu cliente. Siempre era yo el culpable y tú jugando a la inocente. Tú calladita chequeando mis mensajes y yo al garete llevándote de viaje. Una nebula, todo era un visaje. Te fuiste de casa y sacaste tu equipaje. Nadie te va a amar como yo, ni va a chingarte como yo. Y ahora quieres que me quede tranquilo si un hijo de puta me choteó en medio de esta situación. No me duele el corazón, me duele que le haya creído algo mío a otro cabrón que te tiraba toda la noche. Se te olvidó que esa la montó mi coche. Todos los meses un nuevo perfume, hasta te compraba pasto pa' que fume, bebé. No quiero que nada te falte y ojalá que ese cabrón te pague el esmalte, yeah, yeah. Yo no te deseo el mal, pero vas a pensar en mí cada vez que te levantes. Te di lo que pedía y no fue suficiente. Tú solo mentías y yo tu fiel creyente. Mil sueños me vendía, yo fui tu cliente. Siempre era yo el culpable y tú jugando a la inocente. Tú me vendiste sueños y yo fui tu cliente. Esa carita de inocente solo te la crees el resto de la gente. Quizás soy masoquista, solo tengo mala suerte. Le pido a Dios a ver si contigo me ayuda. No pienso llamarte, está claro la duda. Yo quiero ser libre igual que Venezuela y Cuba. Nunca hablaste claro, te hiciste la muda. Querías atención y yo te puse en el centro. Querías mi corazón y te lo puse en descuento. Me pediste el 50 y yo te di 100%. Me pediste un reloj y yo perdiendo mi tiempo. Me quedé esperando que tu mensaje llegara. Me comí otro culo pero pensando en tu cara. Quédate con la culpa y también con la ropa cara. Y recuerda que la traición con traición se paga. Te di lo que pedía y no fue suficiente. Tú solo mentías y yo tu fiel creyente. Mil sueños me vendía, yo fui tu cliente. Siempre era yo el culpable y tú jugando a la inocente.
Bebé, qué bella te ves, cómo te llamas y de dónde eres. Tienes un acento que no sé muy bien. tirándose en bikini. En la playa su corillo mientras bebera y martini. Los pibes haciendo Willy, pero ella dentro de la mini titerita de barrio escuchan en Anuel y John C. Mi mami. Ojalá te quede a dormir acá. Quiero aprenderme tu nombre, pero no me dices nada. Yo no sé cuándo viniste, tampoco cuándo te vas. Yo siempre ando por la isla por si me quiere encontrar.
Diablo mami, naciste pa' mí, te mudaste pa' acá o viniste de trip.
Diablo mami, naciste pa' mí. Si esto fuera un draft, tú fueras first pick.
Tú me tienes maquinando, imaginándote encima de mí brincándome. El porrito y el guaro es lo que me tiene aquí pensándote. Ma, dime dónde vas, detrás de ti yo voy a estar. Debajo pa' medallo si te quieres escapar. Una chimba como tú es que yo me quiero robar. Ma, dime dónde vas, detrás de ti yo voy a estar. Viajamos en jet privado normal, subí una foto para irnos viral.
Diablo mami, causo tú tienes el cuerpo perfecto y qué rico huele. Sabes que está buena de frente porque puedes. Y ahorita ya le gustan las nenas y los nenes. Una nena buena, vuelta mala. Las decepciones la transformaron en diabla y se empoderó, Alex lo superó. Pa'l carajo lo mandó cuando ese pendejo volvió. Ella no es como antes, le cura el corazón que le rompió otro gantel. Si todos los hombres son iguales, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Todo lo que vale la pena no es fácil, bebé. Teoría se mantiene natural. La baby no se quiere operar. Dice que en el mundo hacen falta personas que sean más real. Teoría se mantiene natural. La baby no se quiere operar. Dice que en el mundo hacen falta personas que sean más real. Diablo mami, naciste pa' mí.
You never get any loans.
Diablo mami, naciste pa' mí, si esto fuera un draft, tú fuera first pick.
Hasta la muerte, oíste, bebé. Los intocables, oíste, bebé. La doble A.
DJ Luyan, Mambo King.
Mambo King, Mambo King. Para irme a Luyan. Para irme a Maluma. Para irme a Quevedo.
Anuel AA, Quevedo. Siempre flow Maluma, siempre Real G. Yeah. Dímelo, Biffy.
Kill the music, oíste, bebé.
Le gusta salir y amanecer, beber y enloquecerse. Y cuando el día termine, no sé si la vuelvo a ver. Yo que no traje bloqueador pa' tanto calor que quema.
Juninho, thank you for stopping
Ese
by.
cuerpito que tú tienes, el traje de baño chiquitito te queda. Esa blanquita con el sol y de una ya se pone morena. Un trago en mano bien borracha, todos saben que su vida es extrema. Dicen que no, pero sé que mi flow le corre por la pena. Ese cuerpito que tú tienes, el traje de baño chiquitito te queda. Esa blanquita con el sol y de una ya se pone morena. Un trago en mano bien borracha, todos saben que su vida es extrema. Dicen que no, pero sé que mi flow le corre por la pena. Let's go. Mami, sacúdete la arena. Con ese booty me duele que seas ajena. Yeah. Se puso una de mis cadenas. Nunca le baja, siempre con la copa llena. Ella entró, saludó y en el bote se montó. Nunca atrás y tosió. Cuando el que se lo pasó, me pegué, lo menió. Nunca me dijo que no. Se lució, abusó y eso que ni se esforzó. Yo que no traje bloqueador pa' tanto calor que quema. Y ese cuerpito que tú tienes, el traje de baño chiquitito te queda. Esa blanquita con el sol y de una ya se pone morena. Un trago en mano bien borracha, todos saben que su vida es extrema. Dicen que no, pero sé que mi flow le corre por la pena. Con tu cuerpo sube la marea. Esta chiquitito te queda. Esa blanquita con el sol y de una ya se pone morena. Un trago de mano bien borracha, todos saben que su vida es extrema. Dicen que no, pero sé que mi flow le corre por la pena. Ese cuerpito que tú tienes, el traje de baño chiquitito te queda. Esa blanquita con el sol y de una ya se pone morena. Un trago de mano bien borracha, todos saben que su vida es extrema. Dicen que no, pero sé que mi flow le corre por la pena.
Dile que bailando te conocí. Cuéntale, dile que esta noche me quieres ver. Cuéntale, cuéntale que beso mejor que él. Cuéntale, dile que esta noche tú me vas a ver. Cuéntale, cuéntale que te conocí bailando. Cuéntale que soy mejor que él. Cuéntale que te traigo loca. Cuéntale que no lo quieres ver. Cuéntale que te conocí bailando. Cuéntale que soy mejor que él. Cuéntale que te traigo loca. Cuéntale que no lo quieres ver. Que quizá fue la noche en la que te traicionó. Fue el perfume de mi piel lo que te cautivó. Que ya no tiene excusas para tu traición. Que tuviste mil motivos.
You create a URL and then you pass that URL onto here. This needs just the URL. Where's the URL? I'll put. Right, so let's create if this doesn't have it, then we need to create a data transformation which will edit it. Otra noche, otra. Otra noche, otra. So filter. Now if chat inputs, so if this one here has contains so if it contains a HTTPS, if it contains HTTPS, then we will send it to over, and then for the other one, if this one does not contain a string, does not contain HTTPS, then we will send it somewhere else. Okay, so this is the filter. And do I get a filter or do I get a... No, we'll delete the filter, we'll put a switch. I feel like a switch is going to be better here. So if I have a switch... So if this one here has... if this one here contains a HTTPS, we shall... the string contains HTTPS, and we'll send it one way, and then if this one doesn't contain HTTPS, we'll send it somewhere else. HTTPS, actually, string does not contain HTTPS, we'll send it somewhere else. Cool. So if this is true, we will send it. So if it's true, we'll send it directly to the Airtable. If it's not true, I will edit it and we'll send it directly to. We'll send it here. We shall send it here, and we'll do manual mapping. But we also need to try it. So we'll run this one here. So this one has got a HTTPS, so it's gone there. If it didn't have HTTPS, let's try without HTTPS. So we'll clear everything here. We shall hide chat, save that, refresh the page. So this is webhook for later on in the For now we're just concentrating onto the chat. So if we go on YouTube now and we find YouTube and then we find any video, so we will go for Alex Hormozi, the famous and friendly sales guy. So Alex Hormozi. Now we will find Business Now Easy in More 2025. Less is more. Less is more. This is actually a nice and amazing video. The less you do, the more. Well, within a certain well, if you're not silly with it, the less you do, it's more. But sometimes you try and be perfectionist like I am, and then you mess everything up just because of it. When you could have it a lot easier if you did it a different way or did less. Okay, so as we proved it, now it didn't work, so it's gone through, and now it stopped here. I don't care about this just yet. That we'll deal with that in a second. So I'm happy that it did this. It has not. Well, we need to map it actually, because we haven't mapped it yet. So before we map it, since Airtable is going to have issues, we have to get a do nothing operation. This do nothing operation will do essentially nothing, and we will pass everything through that. So when we'll run that now. So whenever we get a new item through in the Airtable, that will actually get the item from not operation. So if we go into here, this not the hang on, I'm sorry. No, we will need to edit field and then just pass it. Actually, let's do nothing for a second. So data transformation, we will what are we gonna do? We are going to edit field, or even better, that's an easier option. So I'm gonna open Grok, good old Grok. So within Grok, I am going to put, I need you to create a code snippet. A snippet of, I need to create a snippet for a node in where are we working in NA10, so that too much work for just close so that I might have needed. No, we'll keep it this way. We'll keep it this way. It's a lot easier. On here, we will put this, and we shall pass the fields over. So close this. This one will just map the fields, and we'll play it. Right, so it's not dragging anything over. I am going to chat input. Oh. My bad. information input. If it contains this, it goes there. If it doesn't contain this, it goes there. Okay, so if it contains this, then we go and edit a field and create manual mapping. So manual mapping, we will get the chat input and we will add HTTPS to that chat input. And the chat input will be passed over. So if we test the test now, it'll be passed over to the which is fine. Then this just stays the same. If it doesn't, but it doesn't matter, because if it is working, it's working. If it's not working, then there's nothing to. We will add another do nothing. So do nothing will just pass the information over, and we shall delete that and put it into the nothing. That's just to streamline the connection between the two. So the two nothing will just pass over the if I run it real quick, we'll pass over the information from the other one of them, which is perfect. We'll pass the HTTPS information, and now if I on here I just need to pass this URL. So chat input is going to be the URL that I'm going to be looking at, which is fine. So that will create a URL, and then we will have to go and once I have that, then I have to pass it through. So I created a new URL here. If I go into, where did I put it here? On here we got the Hormozy video. Then after the Hormozy video, I just need to get tags and add description tags and whatnot. So if we go back into YouTube, into the operation, on here, this is not passing anything by the looks of it, which is the frustrating thing, because I need query authorization, send query parameters, send headers. So since I don't know how to actually, oh, there we go. So we will get from the Airtable, we'll get the URL that was being created, which is the wrong URL on here. So if I do URL and pass it over there, and then I test this step, JSON parameter needs to be a valid JSON. Okay, so what is not valid in here? Startup URLs is this, and then you need to return to me, and it's returning to me what I need it to return. Okay, let's save it, and then let's rerun it, and JSON parameter is to be a valid JSON. Okay, I'm gonna close this just so my API key doesn't come out. Using JSON, start URLs is that. What's not valid about it? Where's the NA10? So that's the search query. NA10, that's fine. So why is it not valid? Right, let's try and see why it's not valid. So we will take a screenshot, and we shall go into no here. We shall go into Grok, and we shall paste the screenshot and say while when I'm running this, when I am running this in a when I'm running this in a what am I running it in an A10 HTTP request. It comes back with an error. JSON.
I've been high, I've been low, I've been everywhere a soul can go. I've seen the northern lights and heaven too, but I ain't never seen anything like you. If you ever need somebody down the road, you should know I'd stand in any ticket line, any mountain I would climb just to find my way to where you are. I would swim across the sea, I would cut down any tree, leave a trail through a forest in the dark, pave a path to get back to where you are. And if you need a light to shine, I'll buy you any star hanging in the sky. Oh, and if this world it breaks your heart, break mine in two and take the other part. Well, you know it already belongs to you, and it's true. I'd stand in any ticket line, any mountain I would climb just to find my way to where you are. I would swim across the sea, I would cut down any tree, leave a trail through a forest in the dark, pave a path to get back to where you are. Ooh, yeah. Oh, to reach you, I would never stop. I'd keep searching for you round the clock. I sing your praises everywhere I go. You should know. You should know. I'd stand in any ticket line, any mountain I would climb just to find my way to where you are. Oh, I would swim across the sea, I would cut down any tree, leave a trail through a forest in the dark, pave a path to get back to where you are, pave a path to get back to where you are.
Standing here
Why does he have to be a Maori?
with your arms around my shoulders,
Three-five.
dancing with the moon. And baby,
This used to be.
it feels just like a
We'll make this into
dream
an Maori.
when I whisper that I love you and you say it back to me. I got you for the rest of my days in the sun on Sunday morning or the pouring rain. I got you
you and only you, you and only you. I got you, you and only you, you and only you. I got forever, and I got all I'll ever need, 'cause I got you. I got you for the rest of my days, in the sun on Sunday morning or the pouring rain. I got you for the rest of my life, and if all else goes wrong, baby, I'll be alright, 'cause I got you, you and only you, you and only you. I got you, you and only you, baby, I got you. You and only you. Here's to all the late night drunk phone calls that you picked up. Here's to all the bad decisions that you didn't judge. All the love yous and the hate yous and the secrets that you told me. Here's to everyone but mostly us. There's a couple billion people in the world, and a million other places we could be, but you're here with me. Take a moment just to take it in, 'cause every high and every low led to this. I'm just so glad you exist. Ooh, ooh. Hey, look what a hello from a stranger turned into. Caught up in a moment like it's just us in this room. All the right words at the right time, and you know 'em 'cause you know me better than anyone else. We don't need anyone else. There's a couple billion people in the world, and a million other places we could be, but you're here with me. Take a moment just to take it in, 'cause every high and every low led to this. I'm just so glad you exist. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't you ever go, don't you ever go, don't you ever go changing. Never let me go, never let me go, never let me go, baby. Don't you ever go, don't you ever go, don't you ever go changing. Never let me go, never ever let me go, never let me go, baby. There's a couple billion people in the world, and a million other places we could be, but you're here with me. Take a moment just to take it in, 'cause every high and every low led to this. I'm just so glad you exist. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I'm just so glad you exist.
I'm better off on my own. She got too close, so I got gone. All she did was tie me down. That ain't what I need right now. But then again, her touch is like a southern breeze on a summer night that cools the air and dances on your skin. Yeah, then again, she has a heart that shines like gold right through still got me thinking about you. I know it's been a couple months now, and I should be alright without you, but I can't get away from how it feels when I'm at home, alone. Yeah, it's real hard, don't stop, and follows everywhere you know. And I'm so far from letting go. I still got your house key hanging on my chain. I still got a picture of us in a frame. The last voicemail that you left, I say, I still got it. You still got my Gibson and Jaguar. You still got me missing you and still got it bad. I wanna move on, but my heart just can't, 'cause you still got it. And I know I won't ever get it back again. You didn't ask if you could have it, but you ran off with it anyway. And I don't know how it happened, but I can't get away from how it feels when I'm at home, alone. And there's pieces of you left behind everywhere I go. I bet you don't even know, I still got your house key hanging on my chain. I still got a picture of us in a frame. The last voicemail that you left, I say, I still got it. You still got my Gibson and Jaguar. You still got me missing you and still got it bad. I wanna move on, but my heart just can't, 'cause you still got it. And I know I won't ever get it back again, 'cause I know you ain't ever coming back. Oh, again. Yeah, you always got a piece of me, and I can't move on. You were long gone, but I'm so stuck between all these left behind memories.
List for us to choose from. So in this case, that's why I was pulling in the email agent, or we were pulling in the calendar agent right here. So that's pretty much how it works. And then you may be wondering, okay, so the Ultimate Assistant calls this tool, great.
Now that I use Monday Service, AI makes solving tickets my form of meditation. Monday Service.
Okay, so right now Telegram just sent over that audio file. It's getting transcribed. Now the Ultimate Assistant has to decide what to do. So first of all, it hit the contact agent to get Nate Herkelman's email address. Now it's hitting calendar and email agent simultaneously to create that event. As you can see, it just popped up right here, and send that email. So we just got a response back from Telegram. The team sync with Nate Herkelman has been scheduled for tonight at 6 p.m. You can manage the event here. Additionally, an email has been sent to confirm if that time works for him. If there's anything else you need, just let me know. So here we have our calendar invite. You can see that Nate Herkelman got added as a guest. Then hopping into our sent emails, we can see, hey Nate, I hope this message finds you well. Could you confirm if 6 p.m. works for our upcoming team sync? Let me know. Let's say that that time didn't work for Nate. Let's push it back an hour. Can you actually push the team sync back an hour? Okay, so that's going to get sent through. Same thing, transcribing the audio. The Ultimate Assistant has memory, so it's going to be aware of what we're talking about when we say, can you push that back an hour? As you can see, it just hit the contact agent. Now it's hitting calendar and email agent. So we're going to watch right here as the team sync gets bumped back an hour. It just got moved. And we also see that the agent responded with, team sync has been pushed back to 7 p.m. and an email confirming the rescheduled time has been sent to Nate. So that really shows you the power of this Ultimate Assistant, because we didn't even ask it to follow up with Nate by email, but it went ahead and did it anyways. Here we go in our emails. We can see team sync rescheduled. Dear Nate Herkelman, I'm writing to confirm that the team sync has been rescheduled to 7 p.m. tonight. Anyways, let's take a look at our inbox. We can see we have a new email from Nate Herkelman checking in, how are you? Let's say that we want to respond to this email in that same thread. All we have to do is ask our Ultimate Assistant to do so for us. Please respond to my email from Nate Herkelman saying that I'm doing well. Okay, that's going to get sent off. Once again, it's going to grab that information, it's going to hit the email agent, and then we're going to take a look at what actually happens within the email agent to reply to this message. We just got our message back. I've replied to the email with I'm doing well, so let's quickly refresh our Gmail. We can see that in this thread we have now I'm doing well signed off by Nate, and now we're going to go into the email agent and check that execution to see what actually happened. So here's that execution of the email agent. As you can see, it hit the tool called email reply, which is awesome because it's going to put it in the same thread. But what we see here is that we need to get a message ID, and this isn't something that we'd be able to get by ourselves without getting all of the email information. So what the email agent has to do is first of all grab emails from Nate Herkelman. As you can see, it pulls in the sender, which is upatdigital@gmail.com, and then it's able to look through the emails that we're talking about, grab that message ID, and then plug it into the email reply tool. So that's how it actually replied in that same thread. So this type of logic is really cool, and I want to show an example of doing labeling emails, because in the label email tool, what we need is a message ID, but we also need a label ID. So in order for the agent to actually label emails, it's going to have to get all emails, get all labels, so that it has IDs for labels and messages to feed into this tool. So let's do an example of that. Please label my recent email from Nate Herkelman as high priority. There we go, it's in the email agent, and then we'll take a look at the execution and see how that worked. So we got our message. The recent email from Nate Herkelman has been labeled as high priority. Let's refresh our Gmail. We can see right here, this is the one we were talking about. It just got moved to high priority. And here we have the most recent execution of the email agent. As you can see, what it had to do to fill in the parameters for label ID, it had to get message ID and label ID, and it got this by activating the get email tool to get the message ID and then get the labels for the label ID. Super cool stuff. Okay, let's try out some other functionality. Can you please create a blog about DeepSeek and then put it in a draft for Nate Herkelman? Okay, this is gonna send it off to the content creator agent, which has a workflow in there where it's able to search the internet, grab back articles, and then it's going to use that information to create a blog. And then what it's going to do is hit the contact agent to get Nate Herkelman's contact information once again. And then it's going to hit the email agent to draft that email for him. And by the way, in the Ultimate Assistant, I'm using GPT-4o, and all of these agents I'm using GPT-4o, except for the content creator agent, I'm using Claude 3.5 Sonnet, because I really like the way that it's able to structure content, human readable, HTML, whatever it is. I like the way that it retrieves content for us. Okay, here we go. The blog about DeepSeek has been created and included in a draft email for Nate Herkelman. So let's take a look at the draft real quick. Okay, we're in my drafts. As you can see, it's right here. If we pull it up, it's in a HTML format. Let's actually make this bigger real quick and take a look at it. So DeepSeek, revolutioning AI with breakthrough technology and energy efficiency.
Take her on a first date again. And when you're leaning for a kiss, I hope you're both feeling sparks by the end of the job. I hope he knows she's the one by the end of the night. You never ever felt more free till your friends say you're so happy. I hope she comes along your ex every one of your plans. You spend your lifestyle to put her rock out of hand. She's smarter than you out these streets. She's everything you're ever gonna need. And then all she cheats like you did on me. And then all she cheats like you did on me. I hope it comes all the way around. I hope she makes you feel the same way about her that I feel about you right now. I hope you're both feeling sparks by the end of the job. I hope he knows she's the one by the end of the night. You never ever felt more free till your friends say you're so happy. I hope she comes along your ex every one of your plans. You spend your lifestyle to put her rock out of hand. She's smarter than you out these streets. She's everything you're ever gonna need. And then all she cheats like you did on me. And then all she cheats
Don't even want the attention, but yeah, that's all that she's getting. Her song is on and she's spinning.
We've got different headers here. We've got bullet points. We've got benefits, potential applications, challenges and concerns, and then we've also got sources at the bottom, which is just really cool for a really quick agent to throw that together. Okay, one last demo, then we'll really dive into this build. Let's say, can you please get my calendar availability for today, and then send that in an email to Nate Herkelman.
Perfect team made it. She walks in the
Nora, and I ditched the 9 to 5 with Bluehost AI. With Bluehost AI-powered site creation tools, I made a custom WordPress website for my vintage clothing store in minutes. I described the site I wanted, and Bluehost created.
There we go. Hitting the calendar agent right now, it's getting availability. As you can see, we only have 3 meetings today, so this is what we should get pulled back as our sort of unavailable slots. And then hopefully it's going to take that information, get contact information for Nate Herkelman, and then send an email to him with our availability. Okay, there we go. The email with your calendar availability for today has been sent to Nate Herkelman. Let's take a look at it. So here's what the email looks like. Dear Nate, here's my calendar availability for today. 12 to 1, I'm busy with a meeting with you. 7 to 8, Team Sync. 8 to 9, strategy meeting. And then it provides links to all those events. It also says I'm free before 12, between 1 and 7, and after 9, so that's pretty cool too. Okay, so before we start breaking down this Ultimate Assistant with all the other agents that we built, if you want to download this workflow as well as the email agent, the calendar agent, the content creator agent, and the contact agent, you can do so by joining my free school community. The link for that is down in the description. You'll go to YouTube resources, click on the post associated with this video, and then you see right here, you can download those JSON files to load straight into your N8N environment. And if you're looking to take your skills with N8N a little farther and you're looking for a more hands-on approach, please feel free to check out my paid community. The link for that is also down in the description. We've got a great community of members who are always sharing resources about N8N, sharing builds, sharing challenges they're having. We've also got a great classroom section with resources that are always being updated. Right now we're focusing on a deep dive within building AI agents, but there are other deep dive topics like vector databases. And finally, we have a calendar section with 5 live calls per week to make sure you're always getting your questions answered, never getting stuck, and also being able to network with other like-minded individuals in this community. So I'd love to see you guys in here. Let's get back to the video. Okay, there's a lot going on in this build, so let's dive right in and I'll try to break everything down as simple as I can. So let's first of all just start with the inputs and the outputs. We're working with Telegram, so we have a Telegram trigger set up that's watching for our messages.
What if you can automate your marketing team with AI agents and just have content on autopilot? I know it sounds like it's out of the future, and I was skeptical too, but I had Mr. Vibe Marketing on the pod again to break down and share his entire N8N workflow with how to create content on auto. If I actually use this workflow, what is the potential outcome of that? Like, why should I even care about this?
Yeah, the outcome is that you're going to be able to test content angles, hooks, and topics way faster. So instead of like getting a subpar result just from opening up Claude or ChatGPT, this is going to get a lot of context, a lot of information, and it's going to create top performing content based off of that. It's even going to create an image for you, and it's going to post automatically. Now, oftentimes AI isn't quite there to just push a button and go end to end and post for you. I recommend doing that to test things out. I've heard you talk about this a little bit too. Sometimes you'll throw out a tweet, you'll see if it catches, or you'll even use like maybe a secret account and then you'll delete it. So I'll do the same thing. I've been doing that actually for the past couple hours on LinkedIn. So you'll be able to test, you'll be able to refine, but I threw in a step here so that if you want, you can actually edit the content before you put it live as well.
All right, let's rock.
All right, so I have this color coded here so that we can separate this out in stages. And again, I want to try to give people some actionable tips so that they can go and build a workflow. And I'm also going to give away the code for this workflow so that people can go and download it after they watch the show. They can upload it into N8N and have a really nice starting template to go and make their own. So